Hi, my name is Renee, and I'm a home chef and a culinary teacher. And I'm here at the Rehoboth Library on the second story in their little kitchen. And today we are going to make a Mediterranean diet recipe. Now, how Mediterranean diets are different is they are low carb and low fat. So we are going to make cauliflower rice instead of regular rice. We're going to use a lean chicken breast and a lot of vegetables. So lean meats and vegetables is the key here. So the first thing you're going to do is turn your oven to 375. Today we're starting with 2 chicken breasts, and we're going to try the Mad Mojito Spice Blend. That's available at the Spice and Tea Exchange in Rehoboth. It's like this. We're going to sprinkle a little bit, about 2 tablespoons, 1 per chicken breast. And you are going to kind of rub that in. Make sure you're coating the chicken breast completely. And we're starting with the chicken because it takes longer to cook, about 20 minutes in an oven set at 375, and then they have to rest for 10 minutes. So we've got it timed out, so hopefully all your ingredients are complete at the same time. Now that our chicken is all coated with the coating, we're going to go ahead and place that in the center of the parchment paper. We're going to add a drizzle of olive oil on top. And we're going to close it up in a little envelope. And this will keep all the juices in without adding fat. If we had skin on the chicken, it would do the same thing, but it would add fat to your recipe, and we're trying to cut down the fat in the Mediterranean diet. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same with the second piece. Then I'm going to place that in. You could do a cookie sheet, you can do any kind of baking pan. It is preferred that you use glass, but if that's not available to you, any kind of baking pan will do. And we're going to place this in the oven because the chicken is going to take about 20 minutes to cook and 10 minutes to rest. That way, hopefully all our ingredients will be done at the same time. It's very important that you clean your surface, especially after you've used chicken or any kind of meat products, to keep from cross-contaminating any of your vegetables. So whatever commercial cleaner you're using, go ahead and spray and wipe according to the product instructions. If you have used your salt, your pepper, your oil, you'll go ahead and wipe that as well so that you're not cross-contaminating any of your vegetables. And then you go ahead and rinse your vegetables in the sink with regular water, and then we'll bring them on out and we'll start our next step. Your next step would be to rinse your vegetables in regular water, and then you're going to prepare all your ingredients. Here are 2 teaspoons of garlic salt and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. So I have them prepared so that I am ready to go and I don't have to measure later. I'm going to move these off. You're going to start with 2 onions, 3 peppers. You can use any color you wish. I chose 3 different colors just to make my dish a little more colorful. And squash. You can use zucchini squash, yellow squash, asparagus, or broccoli, whatever vegetable you prefer, whatever vegetables in season. Fresh parsley and cherry tomatoes. All right, our next step is going to be to chop our onions. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut the tail, the top and bottom off, and we'll just discard these pieces. And then I'm going to cut this in half. And we'll go ahead and take off our onion skin. Again, we're going to discard those pieces. Now, I want these to be a little chunky because that's the way the dish is. I'm going to go ahead and cut it in half, and then I'm going to cut a little bit less than an inch squares. And then I'm going to cut that across. And that way we'll have nice big chunks to start out with. You'll go ahead and do this to all of your onions. And then we'll go ahead and start with the peppers. Next, we're going to go ahead and chop our peppers. I'm going to cut the top off the pepper, and then I'm going to go ahead and remove the center portion. You can use a small paring knife for that, or a spoon. And we're going to get all of the seeds out, and we're going to discard those. You can go ahead and cut your pepper in half. Then we're going to put about a little less than an inch squares, so they're about the same size as the onions. So you're looking at that piece. And we're going to do that with all 3 of our peppers. Next, we're going to go ahead and slice our squash. Go ahead and take the tops off. For the smaller pieces, we can just leave them whole. But as we start to get a little bigger, go ahead and cut them in half. That way they'll cook evenly with the peppers and the onions that we've already added. And we're going to have the ends that we're going to go ahead and compost. Putting these all in a bowl, and in a few minutes we'll go ahead and add some of our other ingredients. These cutting boards are nice because they bend, easy to add to another vessel. We've got tomatoes here. Tomatoes are easier to cut with a serrated knife. There are tomato knives available, but we're going to go ahead and get our cherry tomatoes, and we're going to cut them in half and add them to the rest of our vegetables. And what we're doing next is adding our parsley. We can chop this with a regular knife, or we can use herb shears, and that makes life a lot easier because it cuts them perfectly and you can add them right to your dish. And you're going to try to add the leaves and not the stems. Now that might not be an item everyone has at home, and that's fine. You could go ahead and take the stems off the parsley, take out any pieces that don't look desirable. And once you have a pile of them, you can go ahead and chop them with your all-purpose knife or your chef's knife. Once we have all our ingredients together, we're going to go ahead and add our oil. And we're going to add our garlic powder. And you can do that according to taste. I used 2 teaspoons. If you like it saltier, you can go ahead and just add 1 or less. And if you want to go ahead and cut the salt from it, you could just use garlic powder if you have a diet where you need to use less salt. And then we're going to go ahead and stir that together. Once all your vegetables are coated, we're going to add that to a large sheet pan. I prefer covering mine with parchment paper. It makes it easier to clean. You could add a little extra oil if you like. If you don't have parchment paper, just to keep it from sticking to your pan. And we have a very beautiful array of colorful vegetables ready to add to our oven with our chicken. So we've got our chicken in the oven, we've got our vegetables in the oven, and now we're going to work on our cauliflower rice. I started with a full head of cauliflower, and we're going to use a food processor. You can always also buy a cauliflower rice frozen, or you can get it in your produce section of most of your better grocery stores. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and cut the leaves. And we're going to take the stem and the leaves out. Now we're going to let the food processor do the work. So we're going to just take out some sections. I would say sections about this size would be perfect. Okay, I'm going to review for you how to use the food processor. So I know I don't use mine that much, so a good review is always good. You're going to go ahead and put the bowl on, and you're going to push it towards the center. And the blade has a flat space on the inside, and you're going to match that with the flat space on the top. And sometimes it takes a little bit of jiggling to get it on, but I got lucky that time. Then we're going to go ahead and add our cauliflower. You might have to do this in batches. Don't want to overfill. You don't want to over process or you'll cut them too fine. So I'm going to go ahead and there's a blade in there, so you want to make sure that you're not putting a finger in there. I'm going to move it around a little bit to be sure these larger pieces get cut. cauliflower rice should come out like this. I'm going to remove some of the larger pieces and add them to the next. All right, we're in the kitchen now because we're going to be using the stovetop. Go ahead and put your stovetop on about 7 or 8 to heat it up. And we'll add our 2 tablespoons of olive oil that I already prepared. And while that's heating up, we're going to go ahead and prepare our garlic. If you have a garlic press at home, that would be the ideal tool to use. You can also slice it up into small, probably dicing it up pretty fine would be best. I'm going to go ahead and cut the top off, peel the garlic bulb into slightly smaller pieces so it'll fit inside of our press. I'm going to go ahead and prepare the other bulb while the oil heats. So we're ready to go. This is going to cook fairly fast, so I'm going to go ahead and prepare my lemon. Probably only need about half a lemon. And I do have a lemon juicer. You'd open it up, put your lemon in like that. You squeeze some lemon juice into your rice at the end, or you can go ahead and just squeeze it the old-fashioned way. But I'm going to get that prepared so that when my rice is done, I can add those finishing touches. Also have your salt and pepper ready. Salt and pepper is really a matter of taste. I would start with a teaspoon of each. The library has provided me with these lovely grinders, so it's a little harder to measure, but I would definitely taste it and add more salt and pepper as you wish. Once my oil is nice and hot, I'm going to go ahead and add the garlic from the garlic press, and we use 3 cloves. If you don't prefer that much garlic, you can use less or more. Again, it's all a matter of taste. And we're only going to cook the garlic on the stove for about a minute. We just want to get that oil good and flavored. So I'm going to wait about a minute, and then I'm going to add go ahead and move the garlic around so it doesn't burn. We're going to give this about 10 more seconds. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my cauliflower rice. I'm going to go ahead and cook this for a minute on this heat, and then we're going to lower it to a simmer and let that cook for another 5 minutes. You don't want to overcook your cauliflower rice or it'll get mushy. keep moving a bit so that you don't get any spots that get burnt. After a minute, you're going to go ahead and you're going to switch your stovetop to the simmer, and you're going to go ahead and set a timer for 5 minutes and let that cook for 5 minutes. And it's best to serve right away. It doesn't last great in warm up, but any of these items you could put in your refrigerator for up to 4 days in a sealed container and they would be good. Not as good as they're going to be fresh off the stove and fresh out of the oven. While our rice is cooking, we're going to go ahead and check our chicken. I would recommend using a thermometer, a meat thermometer. If you don't have one, you can check it by cutting into it and making sure the center is not pink. But ideally, you would want it to be about 160 or 165. Your chicken will continue to cook slightly after you pull it out of the oven. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to put the thermometer right into the center. Give it a few minutes and it's registering at about 160, which is perfect, between 160 and 165. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that out. We want our chicken to rest again for 10 minutes, and that keeps the juices in. If you cut it right away while it's hot, a lot of the juices will come out and your chicken will be dry. And our vegetables need about another 10 minutes. So our dish should be done at about the same time. Okay, our rice is done. Let's go ahead and turn off our stovetop. Pull it off so that it stops cooking. We're going to add our salt and pepper to taste. I would start with about a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of pepper. Take a taste of it and decide whether it tastes the way you want it to. And I'm also going to finish this with a little bit of lemon. Stir that together good before serving. We'll take a look at our chicken. It is looking wonderful. And we'll take a look at our vegetables. They need just a few more minutes, but they are almost done. All right, our vegetables are done. And we'll go ahead and plate this up. Be sure to turn off your oven. And you have a lovely Mediterranean chicken roast vegetables with cauliflower rice dish. I hope your family enjoys it, and stay tuned. We'll be coming up with some more interesting, fun food videos that you can follow along at home.
Oh, no way. Okay, let's try it. Oh, great.
Go ahead and try the rice and the vegetables. It's cauliflower rice.
Let me try some of the squash.
Mm-hmm.